Hi, it's Dave, and I'm back with you. Today we're going to try something a little different, something I've never done, which is smoking a turkey. And just to go over some of the stuff here, it's about a week after Canadian Thanksgiving. And that's the best time to smoke a turkey because they're on sale. So I picked up this 14-pound turkey. At a really good price, dollar. I think it was $1.19 a pound. While you're here, you want to have a quick look, make sure there's no bags, giblets, any of that, because some of them they come with the stuff packed in a bag inside. So you want to make sure there's nothing inside. I've given it a quick rinse with some cold water, and that's just how that's going to go. So the skin, you see the skin is kind of pulling away a bit because when I rinsed it, I picked it up by this part here. Anyway, so that's our turkey ready to go. We're going to smoke it. We're going to aim for 225, somewhere between 225 and 250 on the smoker. And we're just going to get it ready. One of the things you want to do is you want to take it out of the fridge about an hour before you want to put it on the smoker because you want it to warm up to room temperature if you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and rub this. I've got the same rub as I always use. It's paprika, and it's on a different video. You can feel free to go and check out my other video. Or make up your own rub or get a commercial rub. Doesn't really matter. But I take my dry rub and I mix it with some oil. And I like to get in under the skin. Rub it all over with this goodness so as we get a little bit of that rub as many different places as we can. Now I'm wearing gloves and I'm not wearing gloves for food safety because it's important to be food safe with turkey, but I mean I'm pretty fastidious about washing my hands. The only reason I'm really wearing the gloves is because if I don't, then I end up with rub stain all over my hands, which I think is a sign of beauty, but not everybody does. Anyway, I've got the neck is out of there, so I'm going to take that neck and I'm going to use that to make some gravy. And I'm going to be using the bones when I'm done. I'm going to use the bones to make a stock. I imagine I'll end up with a nice smoky stock out of that whole deal. So we're just going to rub it right in here. Get it. As much of this turkey as we can covered up with this rub. Doesn't have to be, I mean, it's one of those things that's going to be sitting here for an hour and then it's going in the heat. And it's going to sit for several hours in the heat. And so it's going to be taking on all that smoke and all that goodness. And so let's look at that, see? If you don't look carefully, you find the bag at an inopportune time. Anyway, I'm glad I got it out now. So, the bag with the giblets and all that stuff that you can also use for making gravy or making your stuffing. Now, I'm not going to be stuffing this bird. I think, by and large, it's not a good idea to stuff a bird, just, again, because of the food safety aspects of things. If you don't quite get it to temperature, then you're in a bad spot, and stuffing can get in the way of a bird heating evenly and cooking well. So I'm not going to be stuffing this bird, but you can choose otherwise. But this is how I'm going to do it. Now the other thing that I do is like I'm doing this all on a board here. But when I'm finished, the board, the countertop, everything is going to end up being sprayed. I keep a spray bottle with alcohol in it. Like isopropyl alcohol, and so I'm going to wash the board, but I'm also going to spray it with alcohol to make sure that I kill any of the germs that happen there. You can use bleach too. I find alcohol is quick and easy and takes care of all the germs without. It dries a little quicker too. So So there we are. That's phase one. We've got it rubbed. We're going to let it sit for an hour before we put it on the heat, and I'll be lighting the smoker in just a couple minutes. It's what is it? Oh, it's almost 8:30 in the morning here now. Very cold day outside. I think it's about 7-8 degrees out there. But we'll show you how that all goes today. There we are. So let's talk about how I set up and light my my Kamado for this. And I'll tell you more about the Kamado in just a minute. But what I like to do, because I want it to be low and slow, I take balls that are soaked in isopropyl alcohol. No lighter fluid taste, no bad taste. And I kind of try and set them underneath some of the lumps here. I hope you can see this. And I've got all the charcoal stacked in the front area of the smoker. So fire a couple of those balls in there and light them up. And they light real quick and easy. I think I got them all. If I didn't, they'll catch eventually anyway. And I've got some chunks of pear wood that I'm just going to set in different areas. I've been soaking these overnight. I'm using pear because I think hickory is maybe a little too strong to use for turkey. Now you could use apple. You can use any of the fruit woods, cherry, any of the fruit woods. You can use really any wood you want. You can go for hickory if you want that big bang of flavor. You can use hickory. But for me, I'm going to use the pear that I have. Then I set. I've got a. You can buy the accessories like a ceramic grate to go on here that'll diffuse the heat. What I've done is I've gone out and I've found that a Weber charcoal grate from a Weber will fit really nicely right there. And I've got foil so as the heat won't go as direct. The heat and smoke will come up on this side and will still flow through nicely. Make sure I got my vents open nicely. And I put a drip tray there. And I'm going to put a little water in that drip tray. And then I'll show you the rest of the setup. So I put some water in that drip tray. You can see, I think you can probably see that there's already some smoke and steam starting to zoom up there, come up through there. It's pretty quick to get going. But again, you have a little more control with the air vents and the way it lights when you use the Shaggy's balls. Now I'm going to move the camera angle now so as we can talk about some of the other things here. So this is a Kamado acorn cooker, which they go on sale at Lowe's. Here in Canada, they go on sale at Lowe's every couple of months. You can get them for like $300. And for me, that's about the best money I ever spent. I've had this one for, probably coming up on 10 years now. Had it going for a long time. I've got my bottom vent open full. I've got my top vent open full because I want that initial bit of charcoal to really catch and take hold. I'm going to shut it down. And, hang on a second. First, I'm going to take my temperature probe. Put my temperature probe right in here. I don't want it right over the direct heat, but I want to get a relatively accurate read of the temperature. So that's right at grate level. You can dangle it down the hole. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you get a false reading on that when you do that. And for my American friends, just for reference, it's about 43 degrees out here now. That's Fahrenheit. Celsius, I think I said it was around 7. I think it might be a little warmer than that. But anyway, so there's our setup is all ready, and we'll just let that get up to temperature. We want it to hit at least 225 before we throw our bird on. Okay, so my temperature is up to 190 at the grate. So it's time to shut this down. Not all the way. I just want to slow the buildup of heat. I want it to slow down a bit, so as when I do get to 225, it'll hold that. And so if you shut her down just maybe 25, 35 degrees before you get to where you want to be, you'll find that it'll find and hold that temperature a lot easier for you. Okay, so it's 9:30. Temperature's 235 right now. Bird's been out of the fridge for an hour, just about exactly 1 hour. You don't want to leave it out longer than that because bacteria. So I'm just popping it right on the grate. I took put a little notch in the skin to tuck the wingtips under. They kind of fall out when you move it, so there we are. And I tucked the drumsticks under the flap of skin at the front there. So there it is. It's on there, and I'm going to grab my probe and stick my probe in so as I can keep an eye on the temperature. My understanding is you're supposed to put that probe in between the drumstick and the breast, so somewhere in here. Hang on, and I'll grab it and I'll show you where I'm going to put it in. So here's my probe. I'm going to put it in right in here. Well, that's not a good spot. Put it in this way. And that way it's right into the meat, just under the breast. So we're going to aim for a temperature there. We'd like to get that temperature to around 170 before we take it off. 165, 170 would be a good temperature for taking that off. Just shut her down, let her smoke, and let's see how the happiness goes. Okay, so it's been about a half hour that the turkey's been in there. Temperature is settled in at 232, so I don't have any troubles with that. I'm aiming for anywhere between 225 and 250. But what I find for temperature adjustment, if you're having a hard time keeping your temperature under control, make a small adjustment here. If you're looking for a small change in temperature, make a small adjustment here. You can open that up a little bit and you'll get a very, like if you open it up an extra quarter of an inch, you'll get a small increment in rise in temperature. If you open this one up, you'll find you get a bigger increment in airflow, and therefore your temperature will go up a little bit quicker. Right now I'm happy with the way mine is, but it's worth keeping an eye on and worth checking out. I love these. This one's a ready check. They come all kinds of different. This is an old one, but they come in all kinds of different brands and stuff. But they really do help you keep an eye on your temperature, both of the smoker and of the turkey. It's got the two probes on it. Okay, so we've hit 160 degrees and managed to hold that temperature. It's 237 right now. It stayed right between 225 and 240 the whole time. And so we'll just have a little look and see how she's looking here. Oh, that's looking awesome. Oh, and the smell's incredible. Okay, so she's ready to come off of there. I am going to grab my tray and we'll take her off and going to tent it and let it rest. So I'm going to take care of that and then we'll have a money shot for you. Hi, how you doing? So we let it rest for a while. It's been sitting for a while and it rested really nicely. Just going to do a little, show the turkey, Kev. Show the turkey. So just give it a little cut here and show you what we have here. Let's see how it's going. A lot of times we get a bit of pink here. Yeah, see we got a nice little pink ring there. You can see the pinkness there. It's lovely and juicy. It was cooked to just the right temperature. They went up, it finished at 107. So, and apparently there was a big wad of butter right in the middle of that. There we are. That's the trick with the butter balls, is that you get the butter sometimes doesn't distribute the way it should. Now, hang on half a sec. And Kevin, let me take the camera. And you tell me how that tastes. How's it taste?
Monday, it's a sunny cloud, a high of 9.
How's it taste?
Good.
Okay, good. You want some more?
Yeah.
Okay.